There is a silent war happening every single day. It is not on television. It is not in politics. It is not in the economy. It is inside your mind. Most people believe their future will be decided by one big opportunity, one lucky break, or one life-changing moment. But that is not how lives are built. A great life is rarely destroyed by one catastrophic event. It is usually destroyed by small decisions repeated every single day until they become impossible to escape. The most dangerous habits never announce themselves. They don't arrive looking like enemies. They arrive disguised as comfort, entertainment, convenience, or relief. They ask for just a few minutes, just one excuse, just one more delay. Before long, those minutes become months. Those excuses become your identity. Those delays become your entire life. The hardest truth you will ever accept is this: your biggest enemy may not be another person. It may be the version of yourself that keeps choosing comfort over growth. Today we're going to expose 3 habits that quietly destroy dreams, confidence, relationships, discipline, and purpose. If you recognize even one of these habits inside yourself, don't turn away. Face it, because awareness is where transformation begins. Habit number 1, waiting until you feel ready. This habit has buried more dreams than failure ever could. People tell themselves they are preparing. They say they are learning. They say they are waiting for the perfect moment. But often, they are simply hiding. They wait until they feel confident. They wait until they have more money. They wait until they have more experience. They wait until someone believes in them. They wait until fear disappears. But fear never disappears. Confidence is not something you receive before action. Confidence is the reward for taking action despite uncertainty. Every successful person you've ever admired started before they felt ready. The athlete trained while doubting themselves. The entrepreneur launched with imperfect plans. The writer published while fearing criticism. The speaker stood on stage with shaking hands. They did not eliminate fear. They learned to move with it. Imagine 2 people standing at the edge of the same mountain. One spends years studying every possible route. The other begins climbing. Who reaches the top? Not the person with the perfect map, the person willing to take the first step. Your mind will always create reasons to postpone growth. It tells you tomorrow will be easier. Next month will be better. Next year you'll finally start. But tomorrow is one of the greatest lies ever invented. Every tomorrow eventually becomes another yesterday. And suddenly you look back wondering where the years went. Life rewards movement, not perfection. Progress belongs to those who begin before they believe they can succeed. Ask yourself one question. What have you been postponing? The business? The workout? The conversation? The dream? The apology? The opportunity? Whatever it is, understand this. The perfect moment is not coming. The moment becomes perfect because you decide to act. Habit number 2, living for comfort instead of purpose. Comfort is addictive. It feels harmless. After a long day, comfort whispers that you've earned a break. One episode becomes 5. 5 minutes on your phone become 3 hours. A small excuse becomes a permanent lifestyle. Comfort itself is not the enemy. The problem begins when comfort becomes your destination instead of your recovery. Growth lives outside familiarity. Strength is built through resistance. Muscles grow because they are challenged. Minds grow because they solve difficult problems. Character grows because it survives uncomfortable moments. Everything valuable requires discomfort. Learning requires confusion. Discipline requires sacrifice. Leadership requires responsibility. Success requires consistency. Yet most people spend their entire lives designing ways to avoid discomfort. The irony is painful. The discomfort you avoid today often creates a much greater pain tomorrow. Avoid difficult conversations today. Lose meaningful relationships tomorrow. Avoid exercise today. Fight health problems tomorrow. Avoid studying today. Struggle with opportunities tomorrow. Avoid responsibility today. Carry regret tomorrow. Temporary comfort creates permanent consequences. Temporary discipline creates permanent freedom. There are two kinds of pain: the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. One lasts for a moment. The other can last a lifetime. Every morning, your future waits quietly for your decision. Will you choose what feels good or what makes you stronger? Every choice is casting a vote for the person you are becoming. You don't suddenly become disciplined. You become disciplined one decision at a time, one workout, one chapter, one honest conversation, one promise kept, one excuse rejected. Greatness is never built through giant leaps. It is built through ordinary actions repeated with extraordinary consistency. Habit number 3, becoming a prisoner of your own thoughts. The human mind is incredibly powerful. It can build civilizations, create masterpieces, solve impossible problems, but it can also become the most destructive voice you will ever hear. Many people are not defeated by reality. They are defeated by imagination. They imagine failure before trying. They imagine rejection before speaking. They imagine criticism before creating. They imagine disaster before beginning. Their thoughts become prisons. Imagine carrying a backpack filled with rocks. Each rock represents a negative belief. I'm not smart enough. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too late. People like me never succeed. Eventually, the backpack becomes so heavy that you stop moving altogether. The tragedy is that none of those rocks are real. You place them there, and only you can remove them. Your thoughts influence your emotions. Your emotions influence your actions. Your actions shape your life. If you constantly tell yourself you cannot succeed, your behavior will eventually prove you right. Not because the statement was true, because you acted as if it were. This is why protecting your mind is one of the greatest responsibilities you have. Pay attention to what you consume. Pay attention to who you spend time with. Pay attention to the conversations you repeat inside your own head. Your environment becomes your expectations. Your expectations become your standards. Your standards become your future. If every day begins with negativity, comparison, fear, and distraction, your mind will slowly accept those emotions as normal. Instead, feed your mind with knowledge, with gratitude, with purpose, with challenges, with people who inspire growth instead of excuses. Your inner voice should become your greatest coach, not your greatest critic. None of these habits disappear overnight. Transformation is rarely dramatic. It is usually quiet. It happens when nobody is watching. It happens when you wake up early instead of sleeping longer. It happens when you read instead of scrolling. It happens when you keep your promise even though nobody would know if you broke it. Character is revealed in private. Success is built in private. Discipline is strengthened in private. Long before the world applauds you, there will be countless days when no one notices your effort. Those days matter the most because they determine who you become. The world celebrates victories. It rarely sees the lonely mornings, the missed parties, the repeated failures, the constant self-doubt, the sacrifices. But those invisible moments are where greatness is born. Every person you admire once stood exactly where you stand now. Confused, uncertain, afraid. The difference is not that they were fearless. The difference is they refused to let fear become their identity. Life will never promise fairness. There will always be setbacks. There will always be criticism. There will always be moments when giving up seems easier. But remember something powerful. Your circumstances do not define your future. Your decisions do. You cannot control where you begin. You can control how you respond. You cannot rewrite yesterday. You can rewrite tomorrow by changing today. Every sunrise is an invitation to become stronger than your excuses, wiser than your mistakes, braver than your fears. You are capable of far more than your comfort zone allows you to believe. There is strength inside you that only appears when life becomes difficult. There is courage inside you waiting for a reason to emerge. There is discipline inside you waiting for a decision. The question is not whether you have potential, The question is whether you will finally choose to use it. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. Two different versions stand before you. The first version continued making excuses, continued waiting, continued choosing comfort, continued listening to fear. Nothing changed. The same frustrations, the same regrets, the same dreams collecting dust. The second version made one decision: to act, not perfectly, not fearlessly, just consistently. Every day became another brick in the foundation of a better life. Small improvements became remarkable results. Confidence replaced doubt. Purpose replaced distraction. Momentum replaced hesitation. Which version becomes reality depends on what you decide after this moment. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, because life is not changed by what inspires you, it is changed by what you repeatedly do. Remember these 3 habits: waiting until you feel ready, choosing comfort over purpose, allowing your own thoughts to become your prison. Defeat these habits, and you begin defeating the limits that have held you back for years. Your future is not asking you to be perfect. It is asking you to be committed. Stand up. Take the first step. Embrace the discomfort. Challenge the voice that says you cannot. Your story is still being written. Make sure the next chapter is one that your future self will be proud to read.